Hi there folks, my name is Christina and I'm a marine biologist and massive wildlife nerd looking to bring a little bit of nature to your day. So at the moment with COVID-19, all of us are either stuck inside, confined to our gardens or local spaces, and it's really difficult to connect with nature. However, I'm hoping to inspire you guys to get out, well more or less, and appreciate the wildlife that you can find in your space. So in this video I would like to bring attention to a type of bird that every single person in Scotland is familiar with, the humble seagull. However, did you know there's actually no such thing as a seagull? I know, your life has been a lie. We actually get a staggering 12 different species of gull that either live here all year round or migrate here at different times of year for food. They're a ridiculously adaptable group of animals and they're really impressive, and I can pretty much guarantee you, wherever you are, chances are you're probably going to see one, even in isolation. So I'm going to go through 3 of the most common types of gull that we get here in Scotland, and hopefully that means you can appreciate them just a little bit more. Starting of course with the notorious herring gull. So herring gulls are the classic steal your chips kind of seagull. You can identify them by their grey wings and back, they've got pale yellow legs and they're fairly sizable, they're a pretty chunky gull. They started living and breeding in cities around about the 1950s, and that was when it became illegal to burn rubbish. All of a sudden all this rubbish and food and scrap was getting dumped in landfill, and the herring gulls absolutely took advantage of it. They had this whole new food source there for them, so that's when they started moving into the city, moving inland, and began breeding successfully there as well. But it's not only with human food that herring gulls are particularly innovative for. They have adapted a really interesting way for catching worms. They have learned to dance. Like, how incredible is that? It's so clever. Next on the list we have the absolute king of gulls, the greater blackback gull. These may look fairly similar to herring gulls, but they are actually the biggest gull in the world. They have a whopping wingspan of about 6 feet wide. Like the herring gull though, you don't have to travel to the coast to see them. You can see them all over the country, inland as well, in towns and cities. They are incredibly adapted to take all sorts of prey, whether it's rubbish from the bin or whether it's other birds like puffins or kittiwakes. So one of the amazing things that greater blackback gulls can do is they are tanky enough to feed on sea urchins. So I'm lying on the road right now because I found the remnants of a sea urchin that a seagull's been eating. So what they'll do is at low tide, when these guys are, not very deep, they'll dive down, pick them up and then smash them on the road to get to the soft inside, and that gives them a really nutritious meal. Very cool. Like many other species of gull, greater blackback gulls have a really distinctive red spot on their beaks. Now, this isn't just a beauty spot, this is actually a really interesting evolutionary adaptation to survive. A famous scientist called Nico Tinbergen managed to identify that juvenile gulls are really good at recognising bright red colours. So when a male or a female returns to the nest with a belly full of fish to feed their young, the young will tap on that red spot on their mother's beak, and that will then trigger the mother or the father to regurgitate the fish that it's been eating. It's a really incredible example of evolution. So last but not least in the list, we have the very dainty and incredibly loud black-headed gull. These gulls are serious little characters. Now, this name is actually a little bit confusing because for the vast majority of the year, the black-headed gull actually has a white head. But in the spring and the summer, they develop this dark chocolatey coloured face to help woo a mate and earn themselves the right to breed for the year. Now, as I said, these birds are loud. Their Latin name, Chroicocephalus ribidundus, Chroicocephalus ribidundus. I don't know. Anyway, their Latin name translates directly to laughing, and you can understand why. They do sound a little bit evil villainy. Black-headed gulls have evolved a really clever way of protecting their nest. Not long after their juveniles have hatched, they will move and hide the eggshells away from the nest. This means it's much less recognisable to predators and increases the chances of the juvenile surviving. And again, incredible feat of evolution. So next time you're gazing mournfully out your window in isolation and you see a gull fly by, don't forget, it's not just a seagull.